Zero.
It did feel like we were marking time, and this was becoming a planned acquittal.
Right.
And yet we have a Perry Mason moment.
Who are you going to believe, Donald Trump or John Bolton? You could believe probably a dead frog more than you could believe Donald Trump at this point.
John Bolton is a lot of things, but able to be painted as the deep state actor is not one of them. So good luck with that. Republicans can now exhale and acknowledge that the earth is round, that Donald Trump is indeed corrupt. They can rely on a man who is the Republican version of Justice Scalia in foreign policy circles, a conservative's conservative.
A conservative's conservative, says a liberal. In fact, the only thing John Bolton helped conserve over the past 20 years is Raytheon's stock price. He did a good job there. The many pointless conflicts he's been pushing are not conservative. They're just the opposite of that. They're a big part of the reason our middle class is dying. That seems obvious to you. It's not obvious here. In Washington, counterproductive wars are a virtue, not a vice. Just ask Mitt Romney, one of their biggest champions. Over the last week in the Senate, Romney has made a ton of ambivalent noises about having relevant witnesses testify to the public. Hunter Biden, Adam Schiff, the whistleblower who shall not be named? I'm not sure. Not really necessary, says Mitt Romney. But John Bolton? Mitt Romney would love to see his old friend John Bolton testify before Congress. Keep in mind that Bolton was once a, quote, senior foreign policy advisor to Romney's doomed presidential campaign, and clearly they're still friends.
I think with the story that came out yesterday, it's increasingly apparent that it would be important to hear from John Bolton. It's pretty fair to say that John Bolton has a relevant testimony to provide to those of us who are sitting in impartial justice.
Will John Bolton testify? Who knows? Either way, it won't change the outcome. Trump will be acquitted. This is a totally stupid sideshow. We'll be embarrassed about it later. But it's worth taking this moment to pause and think about John Bolton himself for a moment anyway. How did a guy who disagrees so completely with everything that Donald Trump ran on and won on, how did that guy wind up in a position of power in the White House? Good question, because he's not the only one.